Welcome into LAFC Weekly, presented by Carmax. I am Max Bretos. This is the show that gets you up close and personal to all things black and gold. Certainly in the last few years, we have seen an uptick in how Major League Soccer has approached in signing and developing young players, not only from the United States, but from abroad. With increased scouting departments, with the Under-22 initiative, the big players from overseas are certainly in the crosshairs, and that brought David Martinez to LAFC. David is from Venezuela. Keep in mind, this isn't Argentina or Brazil. Venezuela is growing into becoming a soccer force, and Martinez is viewed as one of their best prospects ever. As you will see, he is settling in nicely, and timing is everything as we go behind the crest, presented by Carmax.
You could see that he was a different guy.
Already showing his personality as an 18-year-old. You see this guy's skill. He's just exciting to watch.
And try to see if he can become the next big thing.
His ability and his talent is phenomenal.
David Martinez was identified by Andres Altamar, one of our scouts in South America, who had seen him when he was 15 years old. And then we had seen him again, myself and Victor de los Santos, we had seen him last year in Under-17 qualifying. And so when you watch someone like him, you can see he's not the same as Denis, he's not the same as Carlos, but he has a combination of athletic and technical quality, especially at a young age, that can be really exciting for us.
We always thought if we found the right loan or transfer solution for Stipe, we would have a need to fill in with a young winger. And throughout the conversation, David's name came up. We have a scout that covers that territory, the northern part of South America, named Pipe Altamar, who said, look, this player has never been open to MLS, but I just know he would fit so well and what have you. Then I started watching and scouts started watching, and we got very excited about the potential, and in conversations with the agent, with the family, with David himself, we realized that this could work.
Miscommunication at the back there for Paraguay. Martinez will have another go, drills it in!
When David came in Venezuelan soccer, he was just 16 years, and he doesn't come from one of the, let's call it, big teams in Venezuela. He comes from Monagas, but then his features in every national team, every underage national team, you could see that he was a different guy, that he was a very talented guy with poise, with no fear.
En ese momento estaba jugando el Proolímpico. Habían rumores de otros clubes, pero no le estaba prestando mucha atención porque estaba enfocado en la selección, ¿no?
Once, like, everyone had the opportunity to watch him play with the national team, we knew that he was going somewhere.
Sometimes life is all about timing, and David had opportunities to go to more than one team in Europe.
We are competing with these top talents in South America. We're competing with Real Madrid and Barcelona and Dortmund and these other clubs that have more resources, more people. It's really important that we're able to identify players quickly and then move quickly. So, and in the example of David, had we waited till after the tournament, it would have been a far more difficult negotiation. So we were convicted that he would fit very well here, and were able to inform them what we felt the opportunity presented, and they agreed, thankfully, that it was the right next step for him.
I think he needed to get to a real professional structure league with the kind of resources that Major League Soccer has now. And I couldn't think of a better team than LAFC, because I think they're doing things the right way. You know, they're trying to be competitive, but they're also trying to stay competitive within the MLS rules of rosters.
Players want to join a club where they think they have a chance of winning. I think players, as a part of that, want to be, young players anyways, want to be in a league and a club where they feel like it's the right stage, where they can showcase what they can do.
A lot of eyeballs on this young player, David Martinez from Venezuela.
You clearly can see David Martinez has a special ability on the ball. He's got a soft touch, His eye for the pass, the way he moves is different. And so that was what piqued our interest. And clearly, it's not really a secret in South America who David Martinez is. We were quite fortunate. We were quick to pounce on it. And now we've got him here. And so now we're going to mold him and try to see if he can become the next big thing.
Me caracterizo por siempre ayudar a mis compañeros, hacer asistencia, goles y todas esas cosas.
Each guy has his own characteristics and personality, and to try to see them open their eyes, open their minds, and then when they grasp it, you see the light kind of come on, and then they take off. That's kind of the whole reason why we coach.
If David continues to show improvement, Steve and the coaching staff, they're going to play him because he's effective. And so I think this idea of, oh, he's young, so you have to be extra careful and put the brakes on, I think that's nonsense. What I do think we need to be sure of is that he's in an environment where he is comfortable and put in a position to succeed.
Entering the match, number 30, David Martinez.
Certainly he's one for the future that we really need to, and we're excited to work with.
Absolutamente todo, la camiseta, el estadio, los fanáticos, los jugadores que pasaron por aquí, todo.
Coming up on LAFC Weekly, presented by Carmax, we go inside Eduard Atuesta's return to the black and gold. LAFC Weekly is presented by Carmax, official used car retailer of LAFC, by BMO, official bank of LAFC, and by Pacific Office Automation. We have your office game plan. Welcome back to LAFC Weekly, presented by Carmax. Eduard Atuesta, El Profe. You know, if you're watching an LAFC game, I tell folks to do this a lot. Stop watching the entire game for 5 minutes and just focus on Atuesta and see how important he is for everything that the black and gold does. The Colombian midfielder came here, pursued a great move to Palmeiras, as you will see, not just the best team in Brazil, but a team that wins trophies a lot the last few years. And then he came back, and I remember when he walked back through these doors to see his face, a different player, a man that has appreciated his time here and looking to really make the most out of this second spell. Eduard Atuesta is this week's player profile, presented by Rockstar Energy Drink.
Hola, soy Eduard Atuesta, mediocampista de LAFC.
Atuesta!
Nací en Vélez, Santander, Colombia.
Mira, yo empecé desde muy pequeñito, 4 o 5 años, entrenando con mi abuelo, con mi tío, y solo entrenaba con ellos, jugaba con mis amigos, jugaba en la calle, pero ellos se tomaron siempre el tiempo de entrenarme, de pasarme todo lo que ellos sabían en el fútbol. Cuando jugué en Medellín, 2018, vine para LAFC, jugué por 4 temporadas. De ahí me fui para Palmeiras de Brasil, en el que estuve 2 temporadas, y hoy volví a Los Ángeles. Desde que llegué, Los Ángeles es una ciudad increíble. Las personas, los fans, desde ese primer año, aparte era el primer año del equipo también, y me parecía increíble cómo los fans están presentes y alientan al equipo desde el primer año. Los hinchas siempre han estado ahí y eso me sorprendió desde el principio. Todo fue muy bonito. Soy vendido a Palmeiras. Fue una experiencia maravillosa. Palmeiras es un club enorme. Es el equipo más ganador de Brasil. Es el equipo más grande de Brasil. Fue maravilloso, fue muy bonito llegar, vivir Mundial de Clubes, gané 6 títulos con Palmeiras, muy bueno haber pasado por ahí, me llevo un cariño, un amor impresionante por Palmeiras, me trataron muy bien desde el día 1 y los llevo en mi corazón. Finalizando el año llega el interés de Los Ángeles que quieren contar conmigo de nuevo, que quieren que yo vuelva. Los Ángeles es mi casa. 4 años ya había jugado aquí, desde el primer año del club también. Entonces fue como crecer juntos. Cuando llegó la opción, era una muy buena oportunidad para volver a la cima en mi carrera. Mis hobbies, me gusta mucho jugar tenis, jugar básquetbol, ir a jugar golf, podría decirlo. No juego muy bien, pero me gusta hacerlo, entonces solo voy. Antes de un partido, música, hago mis oraciones también, me encomiendo totalmente a Dios. Espero el partido con el nerviosismo y con la ansiedad de siempre, pero con ganas de disfrutarlo. Mi estilo de juego es siempre estar para apoyar en ataque, en defensa. Es más que todo eso. Pienso que la inteligencia y intentar escoger siempre la jugada correcta.
Atuesta, golazo.
Llegué desde el primer año. Pude estar escribiendo las primeras páginas de la historia del club y me gustaría seguir haciéndolo. No es fácil mantenerse en la pelea por los títulos, pero estamos preparándonos para eso y esperamos poderlo hacer.
Coming up on LAFC Weekly, presented by Carmax, paramedic Victor Oseguera shares his experience in the fraternities of LAFC and the LAFD. Welcome back to LAFC Weekly, presented by Carmax. If you go see a game at BMO Stadium, you probably have seen Victor Oseguera. He has the fireman's hat. That is not a costume. Victor is a tried and tested LA fireman. And just the title fireman, which brings a lot of clout, really doesn't do it justice, as you're about to hear, because these guys do a lot more than just put out fires. Victor Oseguera and the LAFC Bomberos Brigade, all the great work they do off the field and all the great memories they get to share on it are this week's Faces of LAFC.
The excitement starts as soon as the alarm goes off, because we know that the longer we take to get to something that's actually burning, it's growing. You walk in the door and you can't see in front of your face. Our initial job is that we need to put the fire out. That's how we're going to save the most people. It's excitement. Sometimes there might be a little bit of anxiety, but we know that with our training and with the leaders that we have on these engines, we're going to get the job done as safely as possible. My name is Victor Oseguera. I'm a firefighter paramedic for the LA City Fire Department. So I have a total of 34 years as a paramedic, but a firefighter paramedic for 23 years as a dual function. Ever since I was a child, that's all I've ever known, is that I wanted to be a fireman. For me, serving the people of Los Angeles, it's a priority, right? We've been called to do a job, and the majority of us take it passionately. I do. Every time that we're called and we help somebody in their, most likely for them, might be the worst day of their life. And we're there, and we're going to assist them to the best of our abilities. And that's something that I take to heart and am very passionate about. When I heard that they were bringing the soccer team to LA, I said, well, I want to be part of this. I wanted to bring my little group to join the family of the LAFC. LAFC Bomberos Brigade it's a group of first responders, firefighters, paramedics, EMTs, law enforcement. We have healthcare workers who work in the area, out of the area, and just friends that makes up our group. One of my highest is, right, I have a 20 as far as helping with child delivery. I've delivered 20 kids in my career. That's a very positive. That's pretty much the only number that I keep. Last year, we were dispatched from here for a choking call. It was a 5-year-old that was having choking on a Lego. And on the way up to the call, it got upgraded for CPR in progress. We step out and the mom's holding a limp 5-year-old and she's purple. We start using advanced life support and we were able to clear the obstruction enough where we're actually started to oxygenate her. She started to move and we got her to the appropriate medical facility. Again, we move on to the next one, but a week later, we got a call to that same house. But again, we go on so many calls that I didn't even think twice about it. And walked in, we're taking care of an elderly man for chest pains. And the little girl behind me goes, "That's the man who saved me." And I probably lost it for a split second, but again, that's a very positive outcome. I see a lot of similarities with the fraternity of the LAFD and the LAFC fan base and the entire group at the BMO. And every time I bring somebody new to watch the black and gold play, it's a positive. They always want to come back. When I always got to remind them, well, you just got to buy your tickets. Obviously, LAFC is one of my outlets. I know that once or twice a week, I'm going to get to see the boys play. At least once a week, I'm going to be able to be with the people at BMO as a big giant family, and we can, you know, cheer till we can't cheer no more. I'm Victor Oseguera. I'm a firefighter paramedic for the LA City Fire Department. I am Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is black and gold.
Coming up on LAFC Weekly, presented by Carmax. Relive the day LAFC raised the Supporter Shield in 2019. LAFC Weekly is presented by Carmax, official used car retailer of LAFC, by BMO, official bank of LAFC, and by Auto Collision Group, official auto collision center of LAFC. Welcome back to LAFC Weekly, presented by Carmax. In the very first game of LAFC's history, Diego Rossi scored a goal. Then ESPN announcer Adrian Healy said, "You'll never forget your first." That applies to goals. It also applies to trophies, which brings us to the 2019 Supporter Shield. You'll never forget your first trophy. That was it for the black and gold. The Supporter Shield is awarded to the club with the most points in the MLS regular season. So that is what trophies are given to clubs overseas. We have playoffs. We take it to another level. The Supporter Shield is also special because of the name. It is for the supporters, awarded to the supporters. And in 2019, the club, the supporters were all together when LAFC won their first trophy. It's this week's classic club moment, presented by Remitly.
From downtown Los Angeles, with the first piece of silverware on the line in the history of Los Angeles Football Club.
Every time I go to Banc of California Stadium, I am so struck by the supporters. I mean, they are as passionate as they come, and they just completely raised the bar.
The energy and the passion from your home crowd, you don't want to let them down. So, you know, I know that this team has to feel this energy every night when they come out. And that's why they're going to clinch that #1 spot tonight.
The shot! Goal! Deflected off the post. Header Rossi in. LAFC have taken the lead. Goal! Eduard Atuesta on a brilliant free kick.
Please direct your attention to the field for the presentation of the Supporters Shield.
Great that we can do it here. Obviously, what we pride ourselves on is that this club, which is only in its second year, has a real connection with supporters and a connection with the city, and we've always tried to have a team that everybody could feel part of.
I feel so good! Let's go!
To think that now we won a trophy tonight, and that we can all feel part of something that's going in a really, really good direction. We're all really proud. Tonight, it's the joy of winning something.
Alas, that is all the time we have for this week, but we always like to remind you, get out to BMO Stadium and experience an LAFC game firsthand. I am Max Bretos. We'll see you next week. Until then, let's go, black and gold.